valuable, but at the same time, I felt like both sides were talking to a wall. I don't think he felt like he was being listened to, and same with us. We don't feel like that we were listened to.
I think this experience has been valuable. Whenever you get people to just come and sit and discuss these hard issues, I think that's a win. This is going to be on the internet. People are going to watch.
Your mama. Well, looks like we're going to drop ass shifting and get swifty. I'm watching YT in the background. We're gonna watch Comics Explained.
What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and we are here with Imperial, the return of Worldbreaker Hulk, and a gigantic universe-wide story. It's phenomenal, right? Hickman's newest story, so let's jump into it. So what this does is this initially opens up with two guys talking, right? And they say, "Shall we begin? Or are you having second thoughts? After all, there's no shame in being afraid. What we're wagering is no small sum, and the cost, if you should lose, just might lead to the end of you and yours." The response of this other person, "You might be right, and you probably are, but I just couldn't live with myself if I didn't try." And that's where the other person responds and says, "Good. Too many these days are too afraid to gamble. Living well is not simply existing, but a life where everything is on the line. Do you know this game?" And this person responds, they say, "I'm sorry, I don't." And this person says, "Charade is a wonderful game, pure strategy, much like the Shi'ar contest of the Threat or the chameleon dance of light. But unlike those, this one is asymmetrical and increases in complexity with every adversary represented. When the game starts, you do not know if you are playing against one opponent or many." And so the question's asked, I suppose that makes it the perfect reflection, a pure representation of the game you and I are about to play. The response, it does. And are you ready to begin? And this person says, "Yes, indeed, very much so. I have to tell you, I'm quite eager to see your opening moves." And so effectively, these two guys are setting all these pieces in motion. And I imagine by now, most of you guys who are familiar with the cosmic landscape of Marvel already know who one of these guys is. And so at that point, you switch over to the Hulks. Now, the crazy thing about this is it is Bruce Banner, Jennifer Walters, and Amadeus Cho. And a lot of the discussion kind of revolves around, why in the world are we here? Why are we shooting across the universe into the Andromeda Galaxy, right? Like, what's going on? And so the question's asked, like, why did you bring us here, Bruce? And he simply says, "Because you're family, and my son is dead." And so he's told, "Excuse me, Great One, we are about to land, and I have taken the liberty of providing the proper regalia for the ceremony. It's waiting for you and your companions in the ship's holding area. If you will follow me," and when they go along and they get there, we're given this explanation, right? Sakaar in Nevo. If there is one bright shining center of the universe, this is the planet furthest from it. Like its predecessor, Sakaar, Sakaar in Nevo is a war planet, an arena of death, a place where only the strong survive. And so that's why when the Hulk family emerges, they're in their Hulk form. And Bruce is dressed as Worldbreaker Hulk. And so what follows here is a kind of question. And then you get this really, really cool moment, right? Because the question that Bruce has is in response to the statement of his guide, where he says, "You are home, Great One. It's been far too long, and the people of Sakaar have missed you." And the question he asks is, have they? Because the world is on fire. What happened here? And the response, "I do not know. I'm connected to the WorldNet, but there is much confusion. All I know for sure is that this is not how things are supposed to be. The city is rotting in chaos when it should be in mourning for our fallen king." And so the question's asked, like, do you think we could have missed the funeral? And then, like, a gladiator shows up and starts causing a few problems, right? Literally kind of ridiculing, the guide that's there. And he even says, what you missed, what we've all missed, was ever having a true warrior for a king. Instead, all we had was the failed and fallen hero Kala. Now, Those
Young B, dang bro, used to
Hulk mythos,
stream, keep it going, bro. I was day one from Discord. I don't know if you still do that. Bro, I do. I actually dropped the clothing brand that I put into the...
That dude was almost...
Oh, fuck. I wanted to give me some minis. Yeah, no, Young B. Let me go see if I know your profile pic. You probably had a different name when you were in here. I appreciate you coming back, yeah. No, I'm just, streaming when I can. Trying to figure out what I want to do on YouTube, whatnot. But, yeah. Like I said, I dropped a clothing brand, which is pretty cool. It's called Green Days Clothing. Bells was your name? I do remember you somewhat. I think if I remember correctly, I remember you. Bulls? Did you mean Bulls? Was it Young Bulls? I wish I could be more active. I'll just get busy. Yeah, anyways. What's it called?
Be the rightful
I'm watching Imperial Return of World Breaker Hulk.
ruler of this testing world.
I don't know if you ever watched Comics Explained. He's low-key goated. There's like a couple channels on YouTube that do like the Comics Explained. Probably more than a couple nowadays, but... Yo, bro. You gotta be smooth like me to make it around here. Damn. He's clean. But... Yeah. Talk about a load of bull. His mama. That's a season 1 scare. Wait, season 2. My bad. What are they on, like chapter 7? Damn! Right foot on, right foot slide. No, you wanna slime. Can't let this shit slime. Do you wanna dance? Mm. We can dance like Michael Jackson.
Rice Gum has made an unexpected return to streaming. The once popular YouTuber stopped uploading videos on the platform 3 years ago, only uploading one video about his girlfriend's miscarriage. A few days ago, he made a post on social media that said, "With that, with YouTube, Kick, Rumble, and Twitch, all is up." This came as a big surprise to his fans because Rice Gum had only posted a handful of things over the course of the last few years, and they were usually all about his girlfriend. He ended up signing with Rumble, which his fans seem to be extremely disappointed about, as everyone was spamming L's in the chat, Rumble Fumble, and we will watch Rumble. He then later explained that in order to make the most money on Kick, he would have had to gamble on stream, which he didn't like, as he just wanted to focus on making content. Is the old Rice Gum back, or is he just starting to run out of cash? Guess we'll find out. Rice Gum has made an unexpected return to streaming. The once popular YouTuber stopped uploading videos on the platform 3 years ago, only uploading one video about his girlfriend's miscarriage. A few days ago, he made a post of recently, a lot of things have been posted all over the internet about how, like, when I was younger, like, I would say slurs.
But you're not racist, right?
No, I'd say that I'm not currently exhibiting racism. You know, I recognize that, you know, like when I was 14, like saying the N-word, that was like really bad. I also recognize that we should, you know, not take that lightly, because as soon as we start taking, you know, even as 14, 15, 16-year-olds saying slurs lightly, you know, that kind of makes it socially acceptable for kids to slur because so are kids. What I've done is I have not only like had character progression, I've changed as a person and apologized for those things, but then I actively advocate against them. Recently, a lot of things have been posted all over the internet about how, like, when I was younger, like, I would say slurs.
But you're not racist, right?
No, I'd say that like I'm not currently exhibiting racism. You know, I recognize that, you know, like when I was 14, like saying the N-word, that was like really bad. I also recognize that we should.
I do get asked for dates, but I'm never interested in those dates. I'm their girlfriend, but I'm not their girlfriend.
I'm sorry, did you tell me your name?
Yeah.
What was your name?
You forgot?
Maybe we should go for a beer and talk about it.
Don't you dare call me bro! I break your head, I promise.
Have you finished berating me in public?
No, I mean, like, I'm really here for the question of attraction, because it never lasts.
Well, I was just flirting with you and you shouted at me.
You forgot my name. I'm not interested suddenly.
So why did you use that opportunity to get angry with me?
I'm not angry with you. I'm letting you know.
We could have had such a little fun flirt right now. That energy you had with me when you were having a bit of a go at me, I just want you to channel it slightly differently. If you had just said, "You don't remember," and I said, "No, I'm so sorry," and you said, "I want to tell you, but you better make that up for me." Now we have tension.
I do get asked for dates, but I'm never interested in those dates. I'm their girlfriend, but I'm not their girlfriend.
I'm sorry, did you tell me your name?
Yeah.
What was your name?
You forgot?
Maybe we should go for a beer and talk about it.
Don't you dare call me bro! I break your head, I promise.
Have you finished berating me in public?
I had this older lady, man. This older lady had booked me to do a solo dinner.
Whoa, what the fuck was that? Yeah, we better back. I'm watching shorts.
I do get asked for dates, but I'm never interested in those dates. I'm their girlfriend, but I'm not their girlfriend.
I'm sorry, did you tell me your name?
Yeah.
What was your name?
You forgot?
What's going on out here?
Maybe we should go for a beer and talk about it.
Don't you dare call me bro! I break your head, I promise.
Have you finished berating me in public?
No, I mean, like, I'm really here for the question of attraction, because it never lasts.
Well, I was just flirting with you and you shouted at me.
You forgot my name. I'm not interested suddenly.
So why did you use that opportunity to get angry with me?
I'm not angry with you. I'm letting you know.
We could have had such a little fun flirt right now. That energy you had with me when you were having a bit of a go at me, I just want you to channel it slightly differently. There is an invisible force that lives in the space between people. An energy that speaks louder than words, louder than actions, louder than even the love we think we're offering. And one of the most repelling forces in that space is desperation. It doesn't allow...
There you go.
If it looks like I just got out of the shower, it's because me and Jameson just sat down here in Florida on the beach to shoot this video when it started pouring down with rain.
It's nailing me. I gotta go get the bag. Stay dry. I will find you.
That's what happened. So the reason I decided to do the video anyway with my wet hair and my wet t-shirt is because I'm dedicated to this video. I have a surprise for you at the end of this video that I'm very excited for because many of you won't have seen this before. I know a lot of you are newcomers to this and you haven't seen me before, you've been following me recently, so I'm very excited for you to see this. Before you do, I want to show you something that relates to the surprise at the end of the video. Recently I was in a seminar in San Diego where someone in the front row asked me a question. Now I was in the middle of answering this question when this person, Tanu her name was, she was a beautiful person, she jumped in and said something that completely could have thrown me off my game. So you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about in just a second. But I want you to watch this with the view that I know there are probably many situations
What the
in
fuck
your life
is going on?
something happens spontaneously and you find yourself searching for the perfect way to communicate or the right thing to say because no one wants to get that moment afterwards where they think of the perfect thing to say and the situation is already over. So you might relate to that with a boss or a colleague or even your friends and family where you really wish you'd have said the right thing. Maybe you've even felt it with a guy recently. But check out this clip, I'm excited for you to see it, and afterwards I'll join you and I'll explain a couple of the learnings from it.
Let's get you a microphone.
Check. Alright. So my name is Tanu and my question in and around goes for attraction. I do get asked for dates, but I'm never interested in those dates. And the guys whom I'm interested in, they are never interested in me.
If you were to have a guess at it, you seem very intelligent. So if you were to have a guess at it, why do you think that they don't see you as the sexual partner, instead they see you as the friend? If you were to guess.
Okay, this is my guess. I don't have a very friendly face.
Have another guess. Because if you didn't have a friendly face, no one would want to be your bro.
Exactly, I'm their girlfriend, but I'm not their girlfriend.
But why do you think that is? It's not because you don't have a friendly face.
I really don't know, Matthew. I'm not sure.
It was sort of sexy when you said Matthew. I wish you'd do that more often. I wonder, and I'm sorry, did you tell me your name?
Yeah.
What was your name?
You forgot? And you said I was special, but you gave me the mic.
Maybe we should go for a beer and talk about it.
Don't you dare call me bro! I break your head, I promise.
Well, have you finished berating me in public?
No, I mean, like, I'm really here for the question of attraction because it never lasts. That's my question. It never lasts.
Well, I was just flirting with you and you shouted at me.
You forgot my name. I'm not interested suddenly.
But why did you use that opportunity to get angry with me?
I'm not angry with you. I'm letting you know.
We could have had such a little fun flirt right now. It's a tad forward, but let's stay with you. I still need your name. If you
My name's Tanu.
T-A-N-U. Tanu. Okay. That energy you had with me when you were
when you were having a bit of a go at me. That's actually not bad. I just want you to channel it slightly differently. This is the thing to me, there are millimeters between you getting what you're getting now and you getting everything you want. Millimeters, I promise you. I promise I know. If you have just said, you don't remember. When I said, what was your name again? You said, you don't remember. And I said, no, I'm so sorry. You said, I want to tell you, but you better make that up to me. Alright? Now we have tension. Can you see how tiny the difference is between the two? One of them, I feel shouted at. The other one, I'm like, oh, I'll make it up to you. We'll figure out a way. So, a tiny difference. So when I say you're millimeters off, I'm not saying that to encourage you. I'm not saying it to flatter you. I'm not saying it to sugarcoat. I think you know by now I don't sugarcoat things. I'm saying it because I truly know. The difference between everything you want and where you are now is this. So let's talk about some ways to do it, shall we? Thank you so much for bringing that up. Okay, so I'm sure you saw the moment where Tanu said something that could have thrown me off. I was on a train of thought, and I all of a sudden needed to know her name. I'd forgotten her name. She told me in the beginning, and I asked her, and she called me out on it. In this moment, I was able to go through an internal process that I usually go through that allows me to respond quickly to situations in communication. I've been studying human dynamics for years, so that when things happen, I don't always answer things perfectly, and I make mistakes like anyone does. But I'm able to recover quickly, and I've learned how to deal with situations in real time, in the moment, so that I really am able to control the dynamic. My brother noticed this when I was on a show called Elvis Duran. I still do the show from time to time. After the show was finished, he called me up and he said, I knew exactly what you were doing in the first 5 minutes. He said, you walked into that room and you completely owned the room somehow. You had all of these experienced hosts, but you had a way of creating this real warm energy where you got people on side. And he said, I knew exactly what you were doing as you were doing it. He ended up writing a document called The First 5 Minutes, which was kind of an expose on what I was doing there, which pointed out things that no one would ever normally see. They were things that were going on beneath the surface that other people wouldn't recognize. And he literally wrote a document detailing these things that I did in the first 5 minutes. Because in his words, what he said was, I want to share this with other people. Because other people think you're so great with people, they think this just comes naturally to you, and they don't realize that there's actually things you're doing that I can break down by process that other people can follow. So it was a little embarrassing when he wrote this, and I was a little bit nervous about sending it out there to the world, because the reality is these are things that are personal to me. They're things I've been using for years to do what I do. And I felt a little bit naked with him saying all of these things. But the reality was, when we did release this document, it helped thousands upon thousands of people, and we had essays from people talking about just how much it had helped them. So I want to make you aware of this, because you may not have downloaded this yet. You may be new to what we do, or you may have missed it at the time. It's called The First 5 Minutes. And if you want to go and download it, you can go to howtogettheguide.com/behind the curtain. It's an easy document to get through, but it's something that's very powerful, and my brother has done an amazing job of it. My brother's Steve Hussey, by the way, in case you don't know him. He's a writer who writes amazing content for what we do, but I think it's maybe one of the best things he's ever done for us. And it's something that will genuinely help you.
It's embarrassing.
Interactions with people. Imagine every room you walk into, whether it's a first date, whether it's a business meeting, whether it's a dinner table with your friends where you want to tell a great story. Imagine you can walk in and own the room in the first 5 minutes. So go to how to get the... Last month, we did a really small, socially distanced event with some close fans in the town in which I reside, Los Angeles. We'll call it Matthew's Tiny COVID Delta Variant Show. At least until I come up with a catchier name. This is a clip from that show. Enjoy.
Okay, so my name is Sasha. I'm a psychologist in condition of ADHD. I have had such a hard time in relationships. I feel like I know the theories, I've read a lot, but I just like really struggle. And it's just.
Which part do you feel you struggle with in particular?
It's really hard for me to like feel close to men, and I feel like I also draw people who like share too much initially, and then I get really like overwhelmed by them in romantic ways.
Why do you think you draw people like that?
I think I'm open, and I think people are like, oh, I can tell you anything. Like, I just feel like I can share so much.
Right.
And I don't know how to, like, so that also brings people who are really problematic or who have a lot of trauma. And I'm here because I'm just like, what can I do to change that? And
tell me a little more about the being, you know, because it's an interesting contrast, right? You saying that I think comporting or suffocating with information and oversharing, but you said you find it hard to get close to men. What did you mean when you said that? Or did you just mean that your reaction to the oversharing is to pull back?